A big red flag for me is if I don't have anything in common, like hobby-wise, with somebody. Like it's such a necessary relationship trait to have, I think. It's so easy to be physically attracted to somebody. Obviously, it's everyone's first instinct. But I think if you want longevity in a relationship, you have to have that extra layer of compatibility, right? You have to want to do things together, I think. So like a big red flag for me is like if a girl doesn't go to the gym. And that's just because it's a very big part of my life. I love going, I go every day. I'm a very big advocate of going to the gym and working out. And it's so good for your health, not just your physical, but your mental health as well. Get your endorphins going, get some of that stress relief out of you, you know. But I do acknowledge that it's not for everybody. It's intimidating for some people who don't go every day. And I try to be cognizant of that, and I try to help out the best I can. Like, there may be some people in here right now, or maybe watching at home, that want to get started and just don't know how to take that first step. And if there is anybody out there, I highly recommend the program I just started about 6 months ago that changed my life forever. And that program is where I only work out with black dudes. Exclusively. Because black dudes will push you to your limits whether you want to or not. I started about 6 months ago, man. I was in the gym one day, and I was having a bad day. I was stressed about something. I was angry about something, and I was like, man, fuck this. I'm gonna use this negative as a positive. I'm gonna use this aggression. I'm gonna put up some weight. And I was hitting a chest day, so I was like, fuck it. I'm gonna hit a new max on the bench press. So I go in there, put the lighter weights on first, get loosened up, get warm, you know, and then you gotta put on the heavier stuff. And when you do that, you're supposed to have a spotter, so you don't die. And I didn't know anybody in there at the time. Closest person to me was the black dude at the bench next to me. So I walked over, I was like, hey man, would you mind spotting me for this set real quick? And he was like, yeah, I got you. I was like, I feel like you do. Everything about your voice is safe. I feel like I can lift the world now. Okay, come on. So we go over to the bench together. He gets behind the rack in the spot position. He's ready. I lay down, and I'm trying to psych myself up, get in the zone, line up my hands, get a good grip, and finally I just get it off the rack. Oh, I get 1 rep in. Oh, I get 2 reps in. I get stuck on the 3rd. My arms start shaking. And he can see this. So like any good spotter, he has some words of encouragement. I'm trying not to die, and this man just gets in my ear. And do that shit. Do that shit. It ain't nothing. I was like, I don't know, man, I'm getting kind of tired. He was like, my people been tired. I was like, God damn. I'm sorry. It was only like 255. You had white guilt on top of that? It's like 500 pounds, man. I was like, is this pre-workout or a history lesson? What are we doing, dog? I racked that shit up. I was like, I appreciate you, man. I was struggling at the end. He was like, you don't know struggle. Fuck, man. Can't have anything. So that's my new routine whenever somebody's like, you look good, Matt. You want a diet? I'm like, yeah, it's called White Watchers. You should try it. So when black people watch white people struggle, you will sweat. I promise you. This is one of the whitest crowds I've ever seen in my entire life. Bro, I'm uncomfortable. Y'all are so white. Is this a comedy show or a meeting? God damn. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Red flag number, we could try something different. This could be fun, or it could be a fucking nightmare. But I think we can have fun. So the thing is like, I could do red flags for hours. And they could be funny, we could all laugh, have a guaranteed good time, but who wants to do that? So, and a lot of times I don't like to do a lot of red flags because it is very male to female. You know, it's listing things that men don't like about women. And I don't want that to be unfair, one-sided, or sexist. So to even it out, sometimes I am genuinely curious, like for the women in the audience, what might be some red flags for a guy if you go on a date with him? He says or does this that makes you kind of be like, ooh, I don't know. Hold on, I'm gonna go balcony. What is it? Is it a good one? Splitting the check. Okay. Splitting the check. On a first date? He asked in the beginning of the date? Towards the middle? Oh, you were boring. In the middle? Can I get you anything? Yeah, 2 checks? 2 checks would be great. Yeah. So where did you say you were from? How recently was this? 5 months ago. Okay, and you still upset? Hold on. Where did you go to eat?
The Gin in Temple.
What is it?
The Gin in Temple.
The Gin in Temple. What is that? Rude. What kind of restaurant is that?
They have catfish on their steak.
Yeah, catfish and steak? It's like a roadhouse. An expensive roadhouse. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, maybe... Did you like him? Until that moment, did you like him? I'm curious. Until he asked to split the check, were you like, this is going good? You were? Fuck. Oh my God. Did you sleep with him?
Yes.
Wow. Oh my God. He split you and the check in one night. Oh my God. Did he leave a big tip? Hold on, that was an unnecessary detail. What'd you say?
I said he was sweaty when we did it.
He was sweaty after, yeah, my man was putting in work. That's good. I would think. Well. I'm sorry you got half of a meal. All right, we're 1 for 1. What's another fun one? Do you have a fun one? What is it?
He's taking hormone therapies, but meanwhile he's huge and does steroids.
Ooh. This is gonna get cancelable. Let's do it. So you said when he says he's on hormone therapy, but he's just fucking jacked. So hormone therapy, what's that supposed to do? Balance it out, basically? So what, he says he has too much like natural testosterone?
No, he doesn't have enough.
He doesn't have enough? Okay, how long have you been seeing this man? 25 years? What? Where'd you meet him? You met him when you guys were kids. So he tells you he's going on hormone therapy to get more testosterone, but you think he's on steroids? You know so? Did you find them?
Yes.
Could you get me some? I'm trying to get in gay shape, dog. Let's go. I'm taking all the shortcuts. You did find some? Was it a needle or a pill?
He is gay shape.
Oh. She said she thinks he is in gay shape. The plot thickens. Oh my God. This is the bigger red flag now. He has his workout buddies. Do you have a picture of him? I want to see what his gaydar says about. Oh fuck! God damn it. The phones are locked up. God damn. Your phone is in a hormone blocker. God damn it. Okay, after the show, I want to see this. Yeah, I mean, that's a valid red flag. You don't want somebody who's lying about an obvious appearance thing. Like, if you're clearly on steroids, just own up to this shit. It's fine. It's fine to do it. If that's the body you want and the life you want to live, you can fucking do that. It's fine. As long as you can still get your dick up, you fine. He can't, then it's not okay. Stop what you're doing immediately. Stop seeing him. Oof. Okay.
Let's unlock our phone.
Can we unlock your phone? Okay. Okay. Bro, what if it's just a picture of me? Eric's like, unlock the phone. And I'm like, nah, we don't gotta do all that. Let's just take our word for it. Oh my God, that's it? That's what you unlock them with? That fucking flying saucer? May I see your phone? There we go, pass it over. Oh, this is great. This better be worth it. There we go, pass that back to her. There we go, I just gotta see a picture of this guy, and then I wanna see what you think. I wanna test this gaydar, let's go. God damn. Bro, he has the traps that my grandpa's pocket pussy wishes it had. Oh my God. Why is his neck so big? Oh my God, this motherfucker looks so unsure. Okay. Resident gay? What are we thinking? What is it? The pose. He's gay? Ding 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 ding. Any excuse to drink. Go ahead. No, this is good. Whenever we out a gay, an angel gets its wings. This is good. Everybody knows that. You know what's fucked up? I've posed like that before, so I was like,
I was thin, and I had eyebrows. And my husband was so tickled with me that he bought me presents for no reason, no special occasion. I guess you boys know what he was after. He got it. So now, and that was sinful. It was the 80s. So I had a bunch of kids by him and married him, had a bunch of kids, and then now, Lord, we've been married, it'll be 28 years in April. Thank you, y'all. I truly believe that he would not pull me out of a burning vehicle. I've had a big week. I've been in Portland, Oregon this week. Yeah, and they're so weird. The little guy that introduced me did not identify as human. And so he had to introduce me as a wife and mother, and that was hard. But anyway, I've been in Portland, and then I was in Tampa last night. I know, and they were darling. And then I go to Orlando tomorrow night, and then I go home. But anyway, I hope that I can remember what I'm saying, because I've been going and working a lot, and I am in full menopause. I do a podcast called Sweaty and Pissed. Thank you, Sweaty and Pissed, Menopause and More. So, for instance, Nick, one of the episodes is called Vaginal Dryness and Pinto Beans. So, My nurse practitioner, I do it with her, and she's brilliant. So she talks about the medical part, and I talk about pinto beans. But anyway, she just did my annual, and I'm 54 years old, and she said, Leanne, you got to take that IUD out. It's time. You're old and crusty, and you don't need it anymore. And it hurt my feelings. Because I always thought I'd be able to have children as long as I lived, which was crazy, because I'm 54, I'd leave a baby at Target by accident. But anyway, she put on a big headlamp, went in and got it, and then let me borrow it later for a hike. But let me tell y'all, my husband never had a vasectomy, and he said, I'm not going to get one, Leanne, because what if something happens to you? I know, and I need to marry a young woman, and she wants children. And I said, bless her heart. I'll pray for her. Please don't put a tight budget on her like you have me. Okay. My husband and I are empty nesters. These children walked off and left me with their daddy, and he is so not fun. Because he's got to make a living. He's got to make a living, and all that money going out. Everybody's getting their eyebrows waxed and stuff like that. So, and you know, kids walk out of a room, they don't turn the lights out when they leave, and that makes a man a butthole. But it's just me and him, and we've got 2 beagles that we are in love with, and we just sit and kiss them in the mouth, and because we miss these kids so bad, and we let them sleep in the bed with us, these dogs, and they're nasty. He looks smart. Do you do math? I know it, honey. I get it. I dig it. Okay, so I didn't mean to get off on that tangent. Okay, so we get in the bed. We've got 2 beagles. The oldest one is from Ogden, Utah. My husband got him on a business trip and flew out there on a company plane, and the plane needed to be worked on, and so he went to a parking lot and called me and said, there's a man in a parking lot with a box full of beagles, puppies, and I want one of them. And I said, this isn't a good time for me. And he said, it'll be fine, and hung up the phone. But that beagle has been yummy, and he's now 12 years old. He's a little old man, white in the face. I know he's yummy, and my husband worships him. So we get in the bed, and my husband pulls him up to him and spoons him in the bed. And that old beagle looks at me like, I don't want him. I want you. And I say, hold on. And when my husband drifts off to sleep, then that old beagle scooches over and gets in the crook of my legs. All right, and he's a hot, hairy beagle. I'm in full menopause. So menopause, for y'all that haven't gone through it yet, you feel like you're being microwaved from within. And it comes out the top of your head. And it's really bad at night. It's covers off, covers on, covers off, covers on. It makes you bitter. Okay, so anyway, he scooches over and gets in the crook of my leg. So I end up on a king-size bed, about this much room. Then the little beagle, who's a pocket beagle named Gigi, who is yummy, she gets in the bed, turns around several times, bangs her little butthole up against my face. And I don't care because I love her. And I just want to sleep, and it's not going to happen. Because when you're in menopause, you don't sleep. And I don't want to get hooked on dope. So I take melatonin, passion flower, GABA, L-theanine, valerian root, and pray to the dear Lord that I can fall asleep. And just when I get in a deep REM, my husband, about 2 o'clock in the morning, I don't know what happens, but he jostles awake, reaches over, and grabs one of my breasts. And it puts me into a blind rage. And I know you boys need that. And that's the way God made y'all. And when I get to heaven, I'm going to ask him about it. That's how y'all show love. But I say to my husband, I know you want to do it, and I'll do it. I'll do it. But can we do it before 10 o'clock? When I know my name, and I know your name. But I waller in the bed all night. I waller. Do y'all know anybody from Tennessee? Do I need an interpreter? Oh, okay. We say words like waller. We waller dogs and waller babies, and I'm wallering in the bed all night, and then I get up the next morning, and I think, oh, I'm going to clean out a closet. I hadn't slept one bit. This Fitbit says to me, you hadn't slept, girl. Okay, so I go to clean out a closet, and I end up in the driveway, and I don't even know how I got there. Let me tell you boys up here in Naples, y'all, I saw these fancy cars out here. My husband is very, very tight with money. Let me tell y'all that I'm driving a 2009 white Honda Pilot that's got 235,000 miles on it. Last year, lights started coming on saying, get out, Leanne. My husband drives a Tahoe and the T and A is gone. He is very tight and has been saving for our retirement since he was 26 years old. I know. I hope I can live to enjoy it. But he doesn't like to spend money. So anyway, I need to get a new car, and I've been looking out here in this parking lot. If God forbid something happened to him, I'd go on Weight Watchers and come down here. Even though, Lord, me and my best friend, we've talked about it because I'm 54, she's 55, and we've talked about, Lord, what if we had to get a man? What if we had to get out here and date? I mean, it would cost me $1,000 just for the grooming. I've got something wrong with this toe. Toenail. I need to be on Lamisil. It's thick. Oh, if I had to get out here. She loves her husband, but she said, oh, well, if I had to, I guess I could show somebody my left breast. She said, it looks okay. Oh, y'all, all right, let me tell y'all that I've got 3 children I'm in love with, and I wanted more. And I told their daddy I want a 4th baby, and he said, y'all are sucking the financial life out of me. So he bought me a dachshund. We were living down in Texas, and she was a doll baby, and she lived to be a little old woman, and she had thyroid issues, and so did I. And so we had to get on thyroid medication at the same time, and we both gained a lot of weight. And I was walking her in our neighborhood, and a little girl came out and said, can I pet your groundhog? But anyway, all right. The 3 children I did get to have been a blessing, and I'm in love with them. I've got a boy and 2 girls. And my boy has been so much easier to raise. Who do you think's easier to raise, boys or girls? Just yell it out. Boys. Every once in a while, there'll be a frail little woman yell out, girl. But I think she's being threatened. No, I love my girls. I love my girls. And I know that when I'm in the nursing home, they'll be the ones to come and pluck my chin hairs. But my boy has been so easy. And I got to tell y'all, I think firstborn, they are. You know, they want to please you and that kind of thing. But he was born an old man. Have you known anybody that was born an old soul? He was born an 80-year-old man. He has had a garden since he was in 6th grade. He cans his own food. I know. Yummy. I know. Woodworks. Makes his own spoons. I know. He wanted to learn how to play the banjo and the mountain dulcimer and the mandolin when he was in middle school with khaki breeches on. Okay, that angel from heaven. So we call him our little Billy Graham. He's been very spiritually mature. I did not do it. My husband didn't do it. We're full of sin. But we've been washing the blood. But anyway, so my boy has loved gospel bluegrass. His favorite artist is Dr. Ralph Stanley. Little Dr. Ralph Stanley's no longer with us, but he lived to be in his 90s, and he was the godfather of mountain soul. And he came to Knoxville to the Bijou Theater, and I took my boy, he was about 15, and little Dr. Ralph, they propped him up on stage. Had a little cowboy hat propped up on his head. Almost threw my panties at him. Because that's what you do at Tom Jones. But anyway, I was sitting there listening to Dr. Ralph sing a song about a robin laid an egg on Daddy's grave. And I thought, how many teenagers are listening to this? What are teenagers listening to? Walk a Flock of Flame? I thought, wouldn't it be funny if I had to yell at my boy, turn that bluegrass down. If I hear I Saw the Light one more time.
As a New Yorker, like I've traveled to places. You ever travel to some place and everything closes at 9 o'clock? I was at a hotel and I got there at like 11 o'clock at night and I said, hey, what's open to eat? And they were like, everything closes at 9 o'clock. And I was like, vampires, right? That could be the only logical explanation as to why there is not one pizza joint that is open right now. And here's the thing, as a New Yorker, I travel a lot more now, and like the more I travel, the more I'm starting to see New York a little differently, and I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, you travel outside of New York, you start to pick up on things. Like that first day back is rough. I get back, I get off my flight, I look around, I'm like, it is kind of nasty. I don't want to feel that way about my city, man. But I go to other places and I'm like, there's no trash around your trees. Where do you guys keep your trash? In bins? That's disgusting. I don't touch my trash. And it's happening more often now because I'm traveling more, and which is so expensive, by the way. Like, if you're buying flights, it's ridiculous. I'm going to Wisconsin, $700. That's what I said, $50 at the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should pay me to get on that flight. Like, why? What cheese enthusiast is ruining this for the rest of us? I thought it was ridiculous. I checked every airline, because that's what you do, right? I was like, I must be hallucinating. This can't, even Spirit, I ain't got no shame. Like, all of them. If you look at Spirit Airlines, you are in a financial situation, right? That I feel like anybody can relate to, you know what I mean? Like, it's not just an airline, it defines an economic era of our lives and should be respected as such. And it's always a bad choice. Look, Spirit It's always a bad, I'll hit you with the double negative. It's never not a bad choice. You know it is. You know it's a bad choice, because you see the price right there, and you still gotta talk yourself into that flight. Because I saw the price. I was like, woo! $27, that's less. It's less than I thought. I started giving myself reasons. I was like, come on now, nobody's hijacking a Spirit plane. Like, you're safe. Even if someone did, every passenger on that flight would be like, you thought you was the only one that bought a gun? Like, you really thought? It's a Spirit Airlines, sir. Nuck if you buck, Hans Gruber. It doesn't matter where I go. As soon as people find out that I'm a New Yorker, they feel compelled to tell me how they feel about New York. Right? Like, I don't ask. But they always tell me, and it's usually some cliche thing, you know, they'll be like, New Yorkers are mean. And here's the thing, we're not mean, we're aggressively kind. Right? We're very misunderstood. I always tell people, get lost in New York City, the first person that will help you is a New Yorker. Guaranteed. Guaranteed, because we can't stand lost-looking people. Like, we hate your lost-looking faces. I'm not even gonna lie to you. We see them at the, like, right at the subway map, just like, Is it uptown? Is it downtown? What's Midtown? Literally the middle. I just picture them like panicked at the map, and then like out of the darkness, they hear a voice. Where you trying to go? That is one word in New York City. Where you trying to go? No breaks. You've been looking at the map for 5 minutes. Where you trying to go? I'm trying to help you get out of my way. You've been in my way 5 minutes. Look at this map. Such a wild thing, man. And people in New York, like, here's the thing about New York City. Like, if you have a bad time in New York City, I feel like that's because you didn't know the rules before you got here. You gotta know the rules before you get here, man. Every city has rules, right? And one of the cardinal rules of New York City, mind your business. It should say that when you land in New York. Welcome to New York, mind your business. Right? That's what forget about it means. It means forget what you just saw. Because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but what happens in New York never happened. Why you snitching? Like, why would you say anything? I had to teach my husband this lesson. My husband is a white boy from the Midwest. Thank you so much. I'm a Puerto Rican girl from the South Bronx, man. Like, hey. I know we got Puerto Ricans here. Hey. Yeah. What up, probably my cousins? I'm just saying, let's do a 23andMe later and get weird. That's the thing, I'm not gonna lie to you. As a Puerto Rican girl from the South Bronx, I didn't think I could bag a white boy from the Midwest. I thought I was too aggressive. Because I don't know how to soft flirt. You know what I mean? Like, you know how some girls can like really cute flirt? Not me. I'm New York aggressive with it. I'd be like, yo, I like you, son. You trying to do this? Hey, yo, you trying to smash? Turns out he liked it. He was like, I'm scared, I'm gonna follow her. But I'm not gonna lie to you, man, moving from the Midwest to New York, what a culture shock. I couldn't start him in the South Bronx, you know what I mean? Like, I couldn't. That's not a starter borough, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's... Right? right? We don't start people in the Bronx. We end them. Don't shoot the messenger. Although we do, we shoot the messenger. Nobody getting messages. But we found a nice starter borough, Astoria, Queens, great starter borough, right? We moved there, man. I showed them all the artisan coffee shops. I was like, look, your people did that. We moved to this nice, quiet neighborhood, or so we thought. Till one day we were driving around and a fight broke out in the middle of the street. 2 grown men started beating the crap out of each other. And my sweet Midwestern husband was like, oh no. I should do something. I was like, if you don't roll up your window right now, I'll fist fight you myself. I was like, what you gonna do, Captain America? You gonna fight 2 grown men? You have psoriatic arthritis, take a seat. I'll tell you what's about to happen. I'm about to watch you get jumped. That's what's about to happen. And I'm gonna watch, because I know how to mind my business. I already learned. This is your lesson, baby, not mine. It wasn't like that when we first got to the neighborhood. When we first got to the neighborhood, the hottest beef on the block were 2 businesses that were at war with each other. It was a health food store and a bagel shop. And the health food store started selling bagels. That's what I said. Here's the thing, they could have sold their bagels in secret. That would have been the respectable thing to do. But they put out a sign. Right, and the sign said, we sell organic bagels. So the bagel shop put out a sign. And their sign said, there's no such thing as organic bagels. I saw that, I was like, the block is hot! It's hot in these streets. My favorite thing is like, people still, no matter how crazy it is in New York, people still want to come to New York. They still want to come. People dream of coming to New York. They always tell me it's my dream of going to New York City. And we know why. New Yorkers, we know why. You want something crazy to happen. You want to see something wild. You want your weird New York story. I always tell them, come. It'll happen. We aim to please. The homeless will always provide. I'm sorry, the unhoused. Cupcake? Cupcake? I don't know. I realized that that's our PC term now, is unhoused. And look, I was an English major in college. I'm down to play with language. Let's do this. But we can talk about unhoused, can't we? It's goofy. I'll tell you why. Number one, that's the same word. You can't convince me otherwise. I have a thesaurus. You ain't gonna lie to me. And 2, it sounds worse. Right? Homelessness sounds like a situation that could not have been prevented. Unhoused sounds like somebody just rolled up on them and was like, I'll be taking this. And no more house for you. The second I heard it, I was like, what an elitist, privileged way of describing a situation, right? Right, you can hear it right away. Did you hear about Janice? She was recently unhoused. That's the kind of word that is only used to make the speaker of said word feel better about acknowledging a situation they know nothing about. It just makes them uncomfortable to acknowledge it, so they created a word as a buffer, but there's no progress in that word. There is no help in that word. And if you've ever lived in that situation, then there are a bunch of words you would have used instead of that word. Like, I was shocked. I was like, nobody thought of nomad? That's my first choice. Can you imagine you roll up on a homeless person? What up, my nomadic brother? Way to stay off the grid, man. I, too, am anti-establishment. Some of the words, honestly, some of the changes I'm okay with. You know what I mean? Some of the changes I think are pretty brilliant. I know a lot of people are upset with all the PC language, but I find it kind of entertaining. Like, did you know on social media now, they're calling smoking weed gardening? I love it. Oh, it makes me sound so much more productive. I've been gardening all day. Gardening helps me deal with people. You know, it doesn't matter how crazy New York gets, it's still a vibe. It's still a city that has its energy. Man, when you think about it, even when COVID hit, we were the epicenter. Even COVID came through like, New York is lit. COVID was like, if I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. Lived its best life. I remember when they released us, from COVID captivity. We got rid of that 6 feet of personal space day one. Day one, it was gone, man. We couldn't wait. I know, because I got on the subway, and within 2 seconds, I had a guy this close. Right in my face like that. I was like, sir, we're the only 2 people on this train. I feel like there's a lot of options you're not taking. But where you trying to go? I thought he was lost for like a second. Maybe he thought I was the map.
I didn't know how weird it was to tell people I was from Florida till I moved. We got a reputation, y'all. It's bad. You know what I'm saying? Because we're a weird place. Like, let's be honest. Florida's like the Kanye of the 50 states. Like, let's be honest, you know? It's like when I was young, I loved it. But the older I get, the more I'm like, I don't know if I can defend everything it's doing. You feel where I'm coming from? Florida and Kanye just have so many similarities when it comes to like how hard they are to root for. Does that make sense? It's like, yeah, they're both creative. They both love women with big booties, but they both tried to make the Confederate flag cool. It's like, I don't know. Mistakes were made. It's a tough thing to defend. That's all I'm getting at. I still get defensive from Florida. When I'm on the road, I actually do. I get defensive all the time. I just don't like it when people try to make it sound like all the crazy shit in the country only happens here. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that. Let's stop acting like you haven't been in your hometown and you were walking down the street and you saw some dude that made you go, oh, Jesus Christ, avoid that fucking guy. Oh my God. Was his dick sticking out his back pocket? Jesus, you saw that, right? It's just crazy to me. And then people try to cite Florida man stories as if that's the end all be all. Get the fuck out of here. They're like, well, what about Florida man? I hate that they say it as if all the other people in Florida aren't reading it thinking the exact same shit as them. It's like, well, what about Florida man? It's like, what about that nigga? He's crazy. Well, what about Florida man? He's out of his mind. I agree with you. It's so weird that they bring that up, you know what I mean? Because what's the easiest way to explain this? It's just, with Florida man stories, they don't make sense to me because they make it sound like what do they think we're thinking as we read it? Like, we're not relating. Like, none of us are reading the Florida man story, all these crimes, and going, nice, he finally did it. Oh, shit. Yeah. Dude, follow your dreams, baby. Jerry always said he wanted to throw an alligator through a drive-through window. And they told him he couldn't do it, but he persevered. So ridiculous, man. And then you'll hear people say like these dumb arguments. They'll be like, well, if our states are so crazy, why don't we hear as much about us? I asked the prosecutor. I'll tell you why. Did you know that everything that goes to court in this country is public record? Anything that goes to court, you can look it up if you know how. But, and this is what I didn't know, every state uses a different site. And it just so happens, according to this prosecutor, Florida has one of the easiest sites to search public records for, even if you have no experience looking up public records. So, you could do like a keyword search. You could go meth, eat, face. A case in Florida is gonna show up. But you could do that exact same search in another state. The case exists and it doesn't show up unless you know how to pry deeper to make it come out. Do you understand what I'm saying? The other states aren't less crazy. They're just better at keeping secrets. That's all it is. They're Bruce Jenner. We're Caitlyn. That's it. That's literally all we're talking about here. And I just don't like when they try to make it sound like it's only here. Have you read your news? I have. I've checked your sites, and you've got some shit going down. Have you seen this guy in Colorado who he tricked out his bulldozer into a tank and he drove it through the houses and the businesses of everyone he thought wouldn't support his muffler store? You don't want to talk about Colorado, man? You see this guy in Massachusetts literally living in the walls of somebody else's house, would only come out at night to pretend to be the ghost of the dead mother of the 2 little girls that live there. We don't want to shout out like Massachusetts guy. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying if you're from another state, you're a bad person, but stop acting like it only happens in Florida. People are fucking dogs where you live too. That's a weird point to rally a crowd around, you know? Oh my God, dude. It does feel good to be back, man. Crazy people are everywhere, though. Be real. They don't hide behind the state lines. They're like, no, we're everywhere. You see the story about this cop in St. Louis? Cop in St. Louis sued his own precinct because his boss told him, on the clock, by the way, tone down your gayness. That is a direct quote. Tone down your gayness, his boss said to him with an HR department. Are you out of your fucking mind? But that was a direct quote. That's what he told him. So this cop sues the department. He wins the case, as he should, by the way. You know how much he was awarded? $19 million. You hear what I just heard? And I can tell you what I just heard. I have not been acting gay enough at my work. $19 million, you said? I will do some almost gay things for $19 million. If I was a cop, you wouldn't even have to ask. I'll put rhinestones on my handcuffs. I don't give a shit. I'll do whatever I gotta do. I'll start macing everybody with Bath and Body Works. What's the thing? What do I gotta do? Everybody I bring to the precinct smells like apricot. I don't care. I'll get your Miranda rights wrong. I'll be like, you got the right to remain steamy. It's $19 million. You're not gonna do whatever it takes. I'll chase the siren of my cop car to an Ariana Grande song. I don't give a damn. You saw me chasing you down the street. You just hear bang, bang, hands on the roof. Like, I don't give a fuck. What are we talking about? It's $19 million. I'll spit on my nightstick before I use it. I'll be like, what seems to be the problem here? I'm just saying, that's a lot of money. I'm not gay or a cop. I want to be both of those things. Crazy people are everywhere. That's the only point I'm trying to make here. I don't like how people try to make Florida sound. Like, I live in LA now. I've been there for 5 years. The number one question I get asked when I tell people I'm from Florida, they go, oh, you're from one of the messed up schools where the teachers are fucking the students? I'm like, whoa! What? Fucking the students? I mean, yeah. Twice. And they're like, that's funny to you? And I go, it depends on the situation. And they're like, when's a teacher sleeping with a student ever funny? And I'm like, 7th grade. 7th grade, it's real funny, man. I'll tell you a real story. You can look it up on our site. When I was in 7th grade, we had a female teacher who slept with a male student. That's true. Class she taught, hardest math class we offered in the program. Student she slept with, smartest kid in the class. When the rest of us students found out what she did, none of us were like, how could she do this? We were all like, fuck, we should have studied harder. Oh, you're telling me that's what was at stake the whole time? Understand the point I'm trying to make here. I'm not saying teachers should be sleeping with students. I'm saying I've never been more motivated to learn. You feel? Bruh, she's giving out fellatio for ratios. You think I'm not gonna learn? this material? Bro, I was studying for that class like I was an 8 Mile. I'm like, you only get one shot. Do not miss your chance to, bruh. You think I know Pythagorean theorem because I care what the hypotenuse of a right triangle is? You better grow up. I was trying to lay teenage pipe. Can I say some wild shit? Hear me out for a second. Look, I'm just saying, if we were more open-minded, we might have more kids that were caring about their education. You know what I mean? But we're not willing to do what it takes. Like, hear me out. If you fail a class, of course, you get summer school. But if you ace a class, come on. Summer school, what do you think? Like, be real with me. Fellas, you're not intrigued? Ladies, I know this doesn't work for y'all. I haven't thought of something yet. But fellas, you're not intrigued? A little bit? Like if a blowjob was waiting for you at the end of it, you wouldn't have paid a little more attention in geometry? Like, that's all I'm getting at here. You could turn the whole game, man. Now nerds are cool. I love the dynamic there. Nerds are cool now. Imagine you're walking down through the hallways. You got Poindexter glasses on, pocket protector, fucking calculator watch. All the jocks are staring at you like, damn, Sheldon be getting all the blowjobs, man. It's crazy, dog. I keep trying to learn algebra, but my dad keeps making me practice quarterback, the fucking dork. Right? This is just so cool to take in. It just says, I just want to live in it a little bit, you know? I read an article a while back. Always stuck with me. This company did a study where they said only 30% of people in this country actually get to do their dream job. Did you know that? Only 30% of people in this entire country get to do their dream job. When I think about that and I see that y'all came out, I'm just grateful y'all came to support my backup plan, y'all, because that's This was not my dream job. Don't get me wrong, my career's going great. I'm happy, but this ain't what I dreamed. Get the fuck out of here. I never dreamed of telling people how gay I'd get for $19 million. Get out of here. Wasn't a kid just staring at the stars? One day, they're gonna know the price. But I was going to the NBA, man. The NBA, they had other thoughts. I still remember when I fell in love with basketball. I remember the day I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm 5 years old, right? I'm 5. Never heard of basketball. No one had ever introduced me to it. I get taken to a game. We get to sit close. I mean close. Like close enough to you get to see the game that you don't get to see on TV. You know what I'm saying? I still remember this as clear as day, right? I saw player A foul player B hard. And then I saw a ref call a foul on player A. And then I saw player A turn to the ref and go, suck my dick. And I was like, what game is this? What is this? I'm 5 years old, my mind's blown. I'm like, you can do that? I remember I look at the guy sitting next to me, I go he just said the thing. Is he not gonna get in trouble for that? And the guy next to me goes, nah, he's gonna be fine. I'm like, what game is this? I wanna do this when I grow up. What is this? The NBA might be the wildest workplace in America. We don't even talk about it. Think about what you've seen them get to do, cross-reference it with your job, tell me they're equals. Get the fuck out of here. I just saw a guy tell a coworker, suck my dick, and everybody who saw it went, you know how he is. What? What a free workplace. And I'm just saying, there's something to it, the NBA is just a place where you could just sort of get away with almost anything. And I'm not saying it's always gotta be bad. You could just sort of do anything. It's got a place there. When I was growing up, there was a player named Jason Terry, right? His nickname was the Jet. And anytime Jason Terry hit a three-pointer, you know how he'd celebrate? He'd spread his arms like they were the wings on a plane, and he would just run back down court as if he had flown away. He did that for 19 years. I need you to 19 years of a guy running through the office. Nobody stopped him. Not once. Nobody was like, Jason, where the fuck are you flying? Nigga, get back on defense. We're still playing. Not once for 2 decades. God, I want to do that so bad. I just love the idea of that. He got to do that for fucking 19 years. Oh. It's all I've ever wanted to do. You can't do that shit in comedy. I couldn't drop a punchline and be like, later. I'll be like, what the fuck are you doing? It's all I ever dream of doing. I just want to tell somebody to suck my dick and fly away. That's all I've ever wanted. I want it for everybody. I tried. Dude, I tried to get to the league, man. I tried so hard. I really thought I was going to the NBA. Closest I got was a white girlfriend. I wasn't really... I mean, the scouts were like, that's a good start. Now next, we want you to stop this guy from scoring. I'm like, I mean, I'll try, but I'm better at the first thing.
I'm 47 years old, and I've been blessed with a healthy, happy relationship for sneaking up on 18 years, which is amazing and wonderful. And also, P.S., it's not fucking Disneyland. Like, we're two people living together. Any two people maintaining a close relationship, you're gonna like scream at each other at some point about who left the lid off the Tupperware. That's how people work. So I mean, whether it's your mom and dad or your roommate or your sibling or your spouse, getting 10 years under your belt is astonishing. Now, a good friend of mine has not been so lucky. He got married around the same time, and his relationship ended recently. So he's doing his best, but he's at this weird middle-aged place where he has to start dating again. And it's tricky because when we were young, finding the loves of our lives, they didn't call it dating, they called it courting. We didn't have the internet, let alone smartphones and all that, so you had to actually just imagine you had to take your body to another place where other people had brought their bodies so that the bodies could assess one another, which is inconvenient, certainly, but it has its advantages, one of which is you can use all five senses when you're actually in the physical proximity of the people you're considering. So maybe they look and sound great, but they don't smell so friendly. Your phone can't tell you that. But he's being told that he needs to use modern technology. When we were young, you would just basically go to a barn raising or a hog killing. At a barn raising, that's hard work. So you just wait and see who's the last person standing, and you marry that son of a bitch. And at a hog killing, it doesn't take long for the ground to be covered in gore and effluvia, and everybody ends up slipping into somebody's arms, and that becomes your spouse. It was a much simpler time. Now they're telling him he's got to use these social dating apps. Now I'm from Los Angeles, so I'm going to lay a little 411 on you. Apps is short for applications. That's just the beginning. What I'm going to throw down here, you can trust, is totally super 100 fire emoji. My shit is tight AF. But you know the apps I'm talking about: Tinder for straight couples, Grindr for gay men. There's a new one called Attractor, which is for lonely farmers. I can only imagine. And he's trying it, and I have good friends that found romance, so it's not to say it can't be done, but my friend, who's old-fashioned, he's said that it feels cheap. He feels like he's shopping for shoes, and he needs to go places to meet people, so he's been looking for things to go to, among which he found in downtown LA a workshop called Bake Amazing Cookies. And I say, let me stop you right there, Richard. Of course you should go to Bake Amazing Cookies. That's the trick. It's gonna work out way better if they find you, because if you're out there on the make, you're trying too hard, it's never gonna work out. But if they find you, and the way to get them to find you is to trick yourself into forgetting you want them to find you, and the way to do that is to engage in something that you love so passionately that you forget. You're like, oh, fuck. fuck, the whole field of melons. What's that? Oh, yes, hi, I am single. Now, I have to be conclusive proof of this theory. I'm going to use this chair because I'm married so fucking far up. Okay, let's see. Remember where this hand is? That's how far up I married. And I still can't wrap my head around it, so let me set the scene for you just a little bit. Let me take you all the way back to the year 2000, when my wife Megan and I met doing a play in Los Angeles. Megan had just finished the first 2 seasons of the Will and Grace television program. You're goddamn right about that. Now, in the year 2000, television was created by companies called networks, and they would make packages of episodes they called seasons. Trust me, look it up. Each season generally consisted of 24 episodes. So she had finished the first 48 episodes of Will and Grace, or the equivalent of 8 seasons of Aziz's show. Right? It's a crazily different, quantifiable time. So across these first 2 seasons, Will and Grace they'd gone through the quickening of the Highlander, where like they had become the stag and run across the beach with Sean Connery, and the world was like, holy shit, you are the greatest. So they had become the celebrated comedy legends we know them to be. Megan, in fact, was about to win her first Emmy a few months after we met. I was living beneath my friend's house in a dirt and stone space in exchange for turning it into a space that could be inhabited by a civilized human who you could then get to pay rent. The entire space was dirt with foundation walls. I could urinate flamboyantly and freely. Like I'd put on music to pee too. I had all my moves. And the next morning you could not discern that it had taken place. That was the only good thing about living there. So Megan and I were at very different places when it comes to personal hygiene, if nothing else, when we met. But my secret was I was also working for this theater company. They had bought a warehouse and were building a theater into this warehouse. So I was working for them as a carpenter. And the day that Megan and I met, the first day of rehearsal, I had been there working for 8 hours, swinging a hammer. So when we first encountered each other, I was covered in a patina of sweat and sawdust and satisfaction. I was wearing a tool belt. And so I can't, this is my best speculative guess. I can only imagine that whatever glow was coming off of my ursine features, because I had just built a stage, had to somehow sway her. And so combining that knowledge and trying to justify it with the experience of seeing myself in a mirror, it's just really hard to reconcile. And so I said to my friend, of course you should go to fucking Bake Amazing Cookies, because guess who's not coming to Bake Amazing Cookies? Married people. It's gonna be single people, either out for fun, baking freaks, but probably people looking for romance. You're gonna be in some cool room that's going to be warm and thickly redolent of baking cookies. Even if you strike out and don't find romance, The worst case scenario is you will have tricked yourself into baking delicious cookies. Again, it's all looking away from the fucking phone and looking into life and where nature is in life. That's look inside yourself, see what you can nourish and cause to fully bush. And maybe it's fruit, maybe it's vegetable, maybe it's weavable, maybe it's smokable. Whatever it is, someone might want to consume it. Or you just eat cookies. But if you do something that you're passionate about, chances are, even if you're not looking for a spouse, you know how that is. When you see somebody doing something they love and that's their thing, that's when they're the most charismatic. And you could just be watching a plumber nimbly replace the wax ring beneath your toilet, and there's just something, if he loves it, you'll find yourself thinking, that guy's all right. I don't know what it is, but I like him.
I'm actually from Ohio. Yeah, that's right. That felt as welcoming as it should have. Man, if you've never been to Ohio, you don't got them. You absolutely don't. I don't care who died there. Send an email, okay? You do not have to go. It's so trash. Oh my God. I'm not even from like a fun part of Ohio. I didn't get like Cleveland or Cincinnati, nothing fun. I'm from the middle of nowhere, like hour west of Columbus, surrounded by cornfields, country, the sticks, we call it. Population like 1,500 people. Like the kind of small town where like the gas station's also the grocery store. You know what I mean? Fuck around, get some sandwiches and some diesel. You here? Why not save a trip? My hometown was so country, man. We used to have drive your tractor to school day. Swear to God. Do you guys remember School Spirit Week? Where like every day of the week would have a theme to it, like pajama day or twin day. We would have one day in that week when like the rich kids would pull up and just fucking flex on us, John Deere style. And the women in my school would just get wet. Like, oh my Lord, he's got land. Because that's all people cared about where I was from, was fucking farming. Like, you didn't need 8 inches if you had 8 acres. Like, that was the biggest flex you could come with. You couldn't compete with a farmer. If he's plowing land, he could plow your bitch, straight up. Like, there's just nothing you could do. Nothing you could do. But it's the type of small town where, like, life just kind of dissipates. You know what I mean? Like, everyone lives the exact same life timeline. Like, you go to high school, you get pregnant, then you graduate, maybe, and then you get a job, get married, and so on and so forth. Then you die in this hometown. It's depressing. There's nothing to do. There's nothing to do for fun there. Everybody just drinks and does drugs. But not cool like we do it, you know? Theirs is because they're sad. It's so depressing, man. I didn't realize drugs were as big of a problem when I was living there, but apparently it's gotten worse. I found out about 3 or 4 weeks ago, this kid who I went to school with, he was like 2 grades older than me. We didn't know each other too well. There's only like 300 people in a school, so we kind of know each other. Found out like 3 or 4 weeks ago, this kid OD'd from heroin in this town at his job. The same job he got when we were in high school. He lived and died there. And obviously the whole town got together and they mourned the loss of their dealer. No, guys, don't get weird, okay? There's a silver lining moment. The whole town, I swear to God, they started a GoFundMe and they raised enough money so that they could get him a memorial bench at his favorite park, which I thought was a really sweet memento, you know, to provide other people seating to do their heroin. I've never done heroin, but I imagine you want to sit down. Okay, whatever. You guys don't know him. Okay, I'm just giving you a little perspective. That I could have been a bench, okay? But I'm not. Nothing like where I'm from. It's so weird. I'm good looking. I I don't like it any more than you guys do, okay? This is not good for comedy, okay? And it's so weird for me. My looks are so confusing to me because you guys haven't known me my entire life, so you have no context of this, but this shit just happened. Puberty hit me so disrespectfully late. I was ugly as shit for the first 22 years of my life. I was so ugly for so long. If I would have been on Wayfair, they would have returned me immediately. Like, I was so ugly. No, don't okay? I spent the first 22 years of my life building a personality for what? You think I need to be funny now? No, it's a fucking waste of my time, to be honest. It's gotten me nowhere. And it's so weird because when you spend so much of your life as one thing and then you're drastically changing to something else overnight, it fucks with you emotionally. Like it's still so new to me that I don't quite grasp it. I don't see myself that way. Like, I know I look like every fuckboy ever, but I do identify as an ugly person. So I think that does technically make me trans. Trans handsome, transom. We wait till we get our bathrooms. It's gonna be all mirrors, bunch of pretty people doing cocaine. It's gonna be dope, and y'all can't come. It's so weird, man. It's such a drastic lifestyle change too, because people treat you so different. Like, nobody likes attractive people, right? You assume their lives are easier. Like, there's no sympathy for pretty people at all. Which is another thing you guys might not know about me is I have clinical depression and an anxiety disorder. And you guys are just waiting for the punchline. That's how fucked up it is that I can come up here and vent to y'all, basically being like, help! And y'all like, get your cute ass out of here. And it's not funny. Awesome. Okay. It's so weird. There's no sympathy for pretty people. No one gives a fuck how sad you are if you have high cheekbones at all. People act like I don't have any problems at all. I could be crying my eyes out in bed and people are just like, what could you possibly be so upset about, huh? I bet you're just swimming in pussy. And it's like, yeah, but you know what I'm not swimming in? Self-confidence, security, believe it or not. Someone who listens to me. I can't even hang myself because my jawline will cut the fucking rope. And I'm just on the ground, handsome. Even if I did die, it's gotta be an open casket. People are like, God damn, he looks good in a suit. That's really nice. Blue is his color. That is nice. There's no sympathy for pretty people. You guys are lucky. Count your blessings, uggos. Shit ain't sweet up here either, okay? Everybody's dealing with shit. I just want you to remember that. Remember that. Next time you're in bed having the worst day, crying your eyes out, and your friends are by your bedside or blowing up your phone, like, oh my God, are you okay? Is there anything we can do to make you feel better? What's wrong? Just remember, it means you're ugly. I don't make up the rules, okay? I'm sorry. If you were cute, they'd be like, get up, bitch, we're going to the club. 3 milli rocks. Be right back to it. No problem, but rules are rules. It's weird because it's given me the perspective of not judging people based on how they look. I'm a big fan of that. That's why I like the masks. Love it. You don't know who's ugly with a mask on, do you? It's kind of a fun game to play, isn't it? Just walking them through the grocery store like, does this bitch have a beak? Like, you don't know what people's situations are. You got to get to know them before you can judge. Like, you wouldn't be able to just assume I'm a douchebag if I have my mask on. You'd have no basis. I could walk into any Starbucks with my mask on. They would just think I'm any random lesbian. You know what I mean? I could be anybody. Could be anybody. They go in, they're like, what's your name? I'm like, Matt. They're like, you are so brave. And the code to your bathroom is 4...
I think white people are the only race of people that like to be scared for fun. Like, you feel me? Not an attack. Doesn't make you bad. Makes you interesting. but not bad. But bungee jumping, skydiving, swimming with sharks, these are torture tactics. Some of you pay for them. That's a curveball. I just think white people get to have a different relationship with fear. Doesn't make anyone bad. I just think it's an interesting observation. White people can have a different relationship with fear. Like, I think white people are the only people you could walk up to and just be like, hey, you want to do something scary today? And y'all won't just outright say no. You feel me? You'll be like, well, what do you got in mind? You feel me? But like, you go to anybody of another race, they're like, fuck no. But like, white people have follow-up questions sometimes. They're like, well, what are you thinking? Okay. Look at roller coasters, right? Theme park owners know white people love being scared so much, you'll pay for a picture of your own face terrified. That's their business model. That's how reliable it is. They were like, yeah, that's where we're gonna get the rest of the money. I've been in so many white homes and seen a framed picture of the entire family terrified. Why? Why is that even a thing? I haven't been in one black family's home and seen a picture of 4 black people absolutely terrified. And they're like, yeah, that's the time I got stuck up at gunpoint, right there. That's us. This is where I tried to sell my kids for my own life. So wild to me, man. And understand what I'm saying, because I understand I'm generally speaking, right? I'm speaking in generalities. I understand there's special case scenarios for everything. So please, like, I'm not being irresponsible with this. Just be on the same page with me. I'm just saying, generally speaking, though, that kind of holds true. I'm saying, generally speaking, I feel like white people feel fear so rarely that y'all schedule it as a vacation activity. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Like, literally put it on a schedule. You're like, at 12, we're gonna have lunch. At 1, we're gonna pet a tiger. You're like, what the fuck are you talking about? A tiger? Huh? You know what no one black has ever said to me? I wanna go on a safari. Not once. I got so many black friends, no one's ever wanted to go. It's our country, and we're like, nah. But I have so many white friends that want to go. Doesn't make them bad. I'm just saying it's an interesting difference that you can spot and go, oh shit, okay. Why doesn't a safari sound insane to everybody? I didn't realize it was something we were so like polarized on. I thought we were all of the same mind, like that's fucking crazy. And apparently we don't agree. I never understood like why it isn't crazy. You wanna go to the zoo without the walls? That's what we wanna do? You want to take away my favorite part of the zoo? The part where they can't get me? That's what we're taking away? Oh, all right. Every time I go to the zoo, people are looking at the animals. I'm looking at the structures. I'm like, that's a good wall. Like that net. Love that glass. I've never understood it. Why doesn't a safari sound dangerous to everybody? It's not even a safe web browser. You feel me? You ever open up Safari in front of somebody with Firefox? They're like, what the fuck are you doing, man? They make it sound like you just fucked a hooker with no condom. They're like, well, close it, throw it away. Who knows what's in there now? It's so wild to me. I'll entertain it. Like, I'll talk to my white friends. Their defenses are so bad. And I'm not saying these are all white people's defenses. I'm saying you wouldn't want to be represented by my white friends. That's what I'm saying. The stuff they argue, I go, that's a bad one. They'd be like, just go on a safari. You're gonna be fine. I'm like, based on what? They're like, you got a tour guide. I'm like, that nigga's not a wall. It's like, what do you think's gonna happen if a lion saw us and was like, oh, I'm about to eat these motherfuckers? You think he's just gonna be coming at y'all and be like, oh shit, they brought the guy. God damn it. Hey, wrap it up, guys. They brought the fucking guy. You don't think the lion just sees more food? That's what I can't get. Like, that's not how your brain works. You think if a lion saw a black tour guide and 2 white tourists, you don't think he's going, oh shit, dark meat and mashed potatoes? Oh, fuck. Looks like KFC came to me. Like, what are we talking about, you know? What do you think the tour guide's gonna do? Entertain it for a second. You don't think that's just a guy on the clock? You think that guy actually cares about your livelihood? A lion's coming at y'all, he sees it. You think this dude's just gonna step in the way? Oh, no, lion. No, no, lion. Not today, lion. You eat zebra, lion. Zebra, black and white. These people, just white, no good. No good. That's why we bring you mixed kid. Blade! Blade! Where has Blade gone? It's so fucking stupid. It just makes me laugh. Like, I'm just fucking around, but you get where I'm coming from, right? Like, you get the point I'm getting at. That's all I'm saying. I just think fear is such a great example for us to explore the concept of privilege, where everybody can see it and realize no one's the villain, but you can identify the differences. I just think it's a great example, you know? Like, can I tell you something real wild? I got a wild theory. I think I'm onto something, I just don't know how to prove it. But I think I figured something out. I think I know why each race has a different relationship with fear, especially fear for fun. I think I can see what it is. It's kind of a wild theory, but I think I'm onto it. I think if you come from an oppressed group, you've never been so bored with life that you're willing to risk yours. Does that make sense? Like, I don't know Jews that like escape rooms. Y'all know y'all came to a comedy show, right? Like, I'm not running for office. I'm not the guy. I'm just here to make the funny points. I think I'm on something. I don't know Jews that like escape rooms. I don't know black people that are into bondage. Whips and chains, you said. Fool me once. I don't know any Mexicans that want to do a Tough Mudder. That's a real good one. Like, if you know what a Tough Mudder is, that's on point. If you don't know what a Tough Mudder is, just so we're on the same page, a Tough Mudder, it's one of those races you do out in the middle of nowhere. It's a foot race where you're just going through an obstacle course. You're going through like water hazards, running over hills, running through like electrified fences. I don't know one Mexican who's like, again? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, let's do it. They're like, get the fuck out of here. I did that to get in, not fit in. Fuck out of here, my guy. All I'm trying to get at here, I'm not trying to attack anybody. I just want us to understand this concept better so we can get past it, right? Anytime I see somebody online or on TV or wherever say that privilege doesn't exist, I need you to understand, you're not a bad person, but you are wrong. All right, I'm not trying to come at you, but you are actually wrong and you sound ridiculous to people who do understand. Just take the time to understand. All right, privilege exists. Bro, I'm a 6'3" black man. There's not one person in here that thinks my dick's small. That's my privilege. I get big dick privilege. Doesn't matter if you're right or not. You didn't think it. That's my privilege, man. If I was an Asian comic saying all this same shit, you wouldn't have thought the same thing? Beyond, there's not one woman in here who's been at a bar, seen an Asian dude and been like, oh, he might dick me down. And he might. He might do it, but you weren't thinking it. That's my privilege. I get big dick privilege. It's a hardship I have to work over every day. Trying to overcome. But when you say privilege doesn't exist, you know what I always think of? It's always this story. It's such a banana story. When I was a kid, I remember telling my dad what my dream job was, okay? I told him I was 5 years old. I told him I wanted to be in the NBA. My dad is a black man from Alabama in the 1940s, okay? He's not a big dreamer, right? He's a very practical man. His vibe is more like, survive. I'm like, okay. That's what he's like. And I remember I told him I wanted to be an NBA player. You know what he told me? Just have a backup plan. I was like, God damn, can I dream for a little bit? I'm 5. But that's what he felt like he needed to communicate to me based on his experiences in this country as a black man. Fair enough. I accept that perspective. I hear you. Meanwhile, my best friend, next door neighbor, I was there when this happened. I remember seeing him tell his dad what he wanted to be. He said that he wanted to be the first black president in US history. You know what his dad told him? Anything you put your mind to, you can achieve. Isn't that beautiful? But that kid was white. Don't tell me white privilege doesn't exist, my guy. I was there. I saw that shit with my own eyes. I saw this white father, who is a good man, I still talk to him to this day, see his white son look at him and go, I want to be the first black leader of the free world. And with me still in the room, he looks at his son and goes, well, if you just work hard enough. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Tell this kid no. Tell him that one's not for him. Couldn't do it. Privilege is just such an interesting topic, and I don't want to harp on it too much longer, but I just want to drive this point home, okay? I do feel like if we're being fair to both sides, there are privileges that white people do get attacked for, and I don't think it's fair. If we're being critical of both sides and we're trying to come together, right? I do think there's one thing I've seen y'all do that I do find very funny, and I hope you find it as funny as I do. And I don't think it's fair that you do get slacked for it. I do think white people are the only race of people that I have seen get offended on behalf of a group they are not a part of. Like, you know who to picture, right? That's all I'm saying. But here's the thing, I don't think that's something to attack you for, because I believe at its core, that's something of goodwill. That just means you cared for another group of people. You were trying to speak on their behalf because you thought you were doing right by them, right? That's a good thing. That's nothing to attack you for. It may not be the way we want you to do it, but that's okay, right? And here's the thing about it, it's a really complicated situation, because if you look online, you see this happen all the time. White people will do something on behalf of black people go, don't do that. And then white people go, oh, my bad, what would you prefer me do? And black people go, I don't know. And then we're just left nowhere. But both of those sides are fair, to be clear. Those are both fair dispositions. Sometimes it's hard to come up with a resolution. You just know when someone isn't doing the right one. That's fair. And it's fair to care and not know what to do. So it still leaves us in the same place of what do you do when you're trying to have someone else's back? I think I came up with something. Hear me out here, all right? Listen, I think this is a universal way to show support for a group you're not a part of. You can use this in any group. I don't know anyone who would turn this down. And I don't know what you do after this, but you can always start with this. I'll give you an example. As a black person, if I'm there, I don't like it when I see somebody white tell somebody else white that they can't say the N-word. Because that's my line. You feel me? Like, that's what I get to say. Why are you trying to upstage me, man? This is my big moment. You know what I need you to do? I need you to say motherfucker after my line. That's support. You get what I'm saying? Dude, I get to go, you don't get to call me a nigger, and then you come in like, motherfucker, and I'm like, okay, so now I feel strong. I feel supported. We're a team. You feel what I'm saying? I'm done with allies. Be my motherfucker. I need more of those. That's what I need. Because I don't think there's anything scarier to a racist person than a black man with a white army. He'd be like, oh, fuck, his cause must be good. I think that's actually scary. Stop being my ally. Be my motherfucker. I don't know when I started caring about all this kind of shit. If you saw my show like 5 years ago, I wasn't talking about nothing like this, you know? I don't know what happens. I got older, I don't know, started voting. You start voting, you're like, all right, I'm gonna throw some opinions out of here because I'm hearing some wild shit. It's weird, as you age, the way your priorities change, the way your life changes. I'm not trying to be like aging sucks. I'm cool with it, but it is weird the ways in which you'll age that you didn't anticipate. Does that make sense? Those are the ones that are weird for me. Like the regular one, like my knees are sore, I gotta wake up early, I'll probably go to a matinee. Like those are I'm fine. I was ready for that. But the weird ones where I'm like, nobody told me that was part of it. What the fuck is going on with me? Like the other day I heard a rap song I couldn't relate to one part of. I was like, what the fuck was that? That's a weird moment of self-realization. Look, I don't know if you've ever been black before. I've done it my whole life. You know? If you hear an entire rap song and you end up going, shit, I don't think any of that was for me. What a weird moment in your black existence of like, where do I fit into this? I still remember what the guy said. I swear to God, I think you'll relate. I remember he went, I got an actress on my mattress. I'm gonna hit it 3 times in one night. That's a hat trick. And my brain just went, exhausting. That's all I felt. 3 times in one night, I was like, not for me. That's crazy. 3 times, bruh, you don't got work in the morning? Nobody's pussy's better than sleep. I'll tell you right now. And that's not an attack. The older you get, the truer that rings, and you fucking know it. That's not an attack. Ladies, I'm sure your pussy's great. Sleep is good. I like sleep more than sex, and it ain't even close. I know that. You know how I know I like sleep more than sex? I go to sleep every day. I don't miss one. I only have sex sometimes. And even when I have sex, when I'm done, I'm like, God damn, I want to go to sleep. If that song was about me, it would have been like, I got an actress on my mattress. I'm gonna hit it one time, then I'm napping. That's my entire, I'm like, yo, hey. Trying to hit them NyQuil bars, bruh. I just think it's so weird to see the things that make you change as you get older. I think it's weird to look at other people your age and see the shit they care about versus the shit you care about. You ever seen that? You're on Facebook and you're like, what are they fucking ranting about? You ever have those moments where like, this is the hill you want to die on? This is the cause you stand for of all the things? Have you seen this group of people that's trying to get Disney's Snow White canceled? Oh my God, I'm losing my mind over it. There are adults, our age, voters, people whose votes count the same as yours. They're out here trying to bring down a cartoon. They're so dedicated. Have you heard the argument? She never gave consent to the kiss that woke her up. That's what they're arguing. Now listen, I'm not trying to be on the wrong side of an issue. I'm not trying to sound like I got some hot takes. I'm just saying, you've all seen the movie, right? We've all seen Snow White. All I'm saying, it really feels like they're leaving out the whole he did it to save her life part, huh? Is that not a crucial detail in the context of that circumstance? Like if you were the prince and that happened to you, wouldn't you want to confront her like, hey, you want to explain the rest of that though so I don't sound like a creep? Appreciate that, because you got me out here sounding like Bill Cosby right now. I'm just saying, that dude was putting them to sleep. I'm just waking them up. This is a totally different thing. I don't think you should be allowed to make someone who attempted to save your life out to be a predator. That's the only line in the sand I'm drawing here. I think that deserves to be defended. If I tried to save you, I'm not a creep. When I was a kid, when I was 7, right? I grew up in Tampa. When I was 7, I was at the beach, right? And I remember I was swimming in the ocean. I'm swimming poorly, if I'm being honest. I'm drowning, let's be honest. I'm drowning. I'm for sure drowning. I passed out. I sunk under the water. I had to be saved by a male lifeguard. I shit you not, I woke up on the beach to a male lifeguard giving me mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And when I came to, I completely understood what that situation was. There was no confusion. I wasn't like, oh, nigga, I'll see you in court. Okay. You ever heard of Me Too? Well, Me 3 now, bro. I just think it's such a weird circumstance to like, this is the hill you want to die on for this argument? I'm not against consent culture. I'm asking, is this where you really want to make your stand? Within this premise? That's what's odd about it to me, you know? Like, have y'all gone back and watched the movie, like as adults? It's weird, man. It's real weird. Do you remember what the curse is? True love's kiss will wake her up. That's real specific. Like, they really narrowed down the danger that could have come. You got to be pretty sure to go for it. It's not like they went, hey man, first one to kiss her gets to keep her. Then a bunch of dudes started marching to get to her first. My hoe, back up. Okay, you get it. I'm just saying, it's just such a weird place to make your argument. And I can understand, to be clear, I can understand where you're coming from if you were just like, I just wish it wasn't a kiss that he had to do to save her. I can appreciate that. I'm just saying, but can you stop making it sound like he squeezed a titty when he did it? That's more where I'm coming from, you know? I want to make this very clear, because this is a tricky topic to make jokes about, obviously. At the end of the day, I understand my place within this premise, right? I'm a man lightly making jokes about sexual assault. I understand that. And I can never put myself in the position of a woman in relation to a topic like this. I understand that. All I can do is empathize the best I can from the perspective that I have. And that's as a black man in this country. And I'm just saying, as a black man in this country, I don't get what you're talking about. Let me say hypothetically, right? Hypothetically speaking, I'm in a coma. I'm dying. And you say the only way to save me is for a white dude to whisper the N-word in my ear. Do you see what I'm saying? Here's the kicker. If we're being honest, I don't need him to ask for my permission. My life's on the line. There are bigger priorities at hand. Do what you gotta do. Bro, I don't care if you whisper. Get on all fours for all I care. I'll be like, hey, I heard you the first time, Steve. Goddamn. Can you give me a sec to wake up? I take a second. No, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but we're gonna talk about that second one. You don't get to call me two niggers, and then y'all would say, look at my army foreman, dog. Look at us. That's how you fucking do it. That's a weird example. Let me give you a better one. I just wanted to see what you were gonna do. Let's say hypothetically, I'm in a coma, and I'm dying. And you say, the only way to save me is true love's kiss, just like the movie. I assume y'all would want that handled the exact same way I would want that handled. I would want somebody to go round up everybody in town, form a line, take my weekend at Bernie's body, prop that shit up in a kissing booth, put some cool ass shades on that motherfucker, look back at the line and go, all right, everybody without herpes goes first. You feel me? Is that not what you would want? Like, let's be real for a second. I want to make it very clear. I am not against consent culture. On the contrary, couldn't be more for it. But that's not the place to make your stand. I do think after all of the allegations we've heard from women over the last couple of years, men should be making more of a point to showcase to women how much we do have your backs, how much you are going to see like a change in the behavior you've been encountering, even if we're not the individuals responsible for it. What I'm getting at is that we need to show that we have your backs. You feel me? But the question then becomes, how do we show you that? Here's what I'm pitching. Men, start making consent your biggest kink. Take a sec, process what I'm saying. Start making consent the kinkiest shit that you're into. Start being a fucking freak for yeses, you feel me? Like after the Me Too movement, show them what you've learned. Anytime a woman goes, how do you like it? I'm like, with permission. Like I lean in. Bro, I don't unzip it till you say please. You could be like, get over here and fuck me. I'd be like, is that how we ask? At this point, having sex with me is like binge watching Netflix. Every so often, I'll interrupt the flow just to be like, do you still want this? Yes or cancel. Are you awake? I'm joking, I'm fucking around. It's a good question to ask.